Hey everyone, I am Nika Valentine or Nicolette Valentine. My real name is Nina Holloway. If whichever one you want to call me by, it is okay to call me that. But today we are on the first episode of Bible studies, and I wanted to start off with going over some notes, including verses and what I've written down. Over those verses are from And these are from the service from today's Sunday gathering. And so the first title is called, the title of it is called People Over Success. And the series is Ecclesiastes. And I think I pronounced that correctly, but I am not sure. Okay. Here is the first verse. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 4 through 6. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 4 through 6. I probably said that correct. Then I saw that all toil and all skill in work come from a man's envy of his neighbor. This also is vanity and a striving after wind. This therefore folds his hands and eats his own flesh. Better is a handful of quietness than two hands full of toil and striving after wind. Okay. What the notes I have on here, I'm gonna start them now. Solomon was worth $2 to $3 million. He had 700 wives, 300 extra, so he had like 300 prostitutes. He planted forests like we planted gardens, and it was all pointless. He even said that it was all pointless. The first problem people have is envy. If God is not in the center, then it is all vanity. Why do we move things to be presentable? It is because we want to be in the center over the universe. Envy is crippling. Okay, that is that part. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Verses. Okay, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 7 through 8. Again, I saw vanity under the sun. One person who has no other, either son or brother, yet there is no end to all his toil, and his eyes are never satisfied with riches, so that he never asks, for whom am I toiling and depriving myself of pleasure? This also is vanity and an unhappiness business. The second problem is greed. Okay, so I'm starting my notes now. The second problem is greed, always needing stuff. We chase all this stuff. Happiness does not mean more stuff. It doesn't. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, 9 through 12. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him who is alone, when he falls and he has not another to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? One who is alone, two will withstand him, a threshold is not quickly broken. And that last part does not mean go sleeping around with people you're not married to. And you're only married should be married to one person. The third problem is isolation. It is a part of God's plan for man not to be alone. You can be surrounded but lonely, or be alone and never truly alone. Okay, this is the final one, and I have more notes on this portion than all the other ones. Okay, so Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 13 through 16. Better was a poor and wise youth than an old and foolish king, who is no longer knew, however, to take advice, for he went from prison to throne, though in his own kingdom he had been poor. He saw all things the living who more about under the sun, along with that youth who was to stand in the king's palace. There was no end of all the people, all of whom he led. Yet those who come later will not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and a striving after wind. Last problem is arrogance. They are all related to all these things that I mentioned. The arrogance, the envy, the greed, the isolation, they're all related to each other, but they're also individual problems. At some point, all of these things affect me. Don't continue to be to the blind. The answer is people. I mean, like being blind is like not seeing something you are doing, but someone else sees that you're doing it, whether it's like a gift or something you're just doing walking out there in life. We need each other. All of these problems are individual issues. What is the greatest commandment? To love God as you love yourself, to love your neighbor as you love yourself. We need people to motivate us to put in the e-work. And I don't know what e-work is. I promise you, I don't know what e-work is. I'm pretty sure I don't know. I put that down. I probably said e-work. But if someone wants to comment and explain like what e-work is, go ahead. Greed is like waste. How can I use what I have to help those in need? You don't have to have much to help those in need. Why are you doing something? If it is not for the glory of God, then you are doing it for the wrong reason. We should all have someone that we are learning from. Like I have someone that I'm learning from. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this. Like you have a hard time like meeting new people if you don't have someone to learn from. You can learn from this. We will all be forgotten, but the goal isn't to be remembered. The goal is to let people know about God. We all need each other. Science does not show us anything new. It shows us what God has already shown us. People need people. And I hope you realize something. And I want you guys to like write down what you guys thought about this video, what you guys learned from it. I wanted to start, like I said just a minute ago, I started this to because I wanted to start a podcast for several months now, and I finally thought that this was the right time to start one. It was like a Bible study for people who have a hard time like meeting people to do a Bible study with, or want you don't like have time to watch the full sermon and want some notes on it. I will put the link in the description if you want to go see the live of the service that I got from this. But it's also, you can look up it at Crosspoint City Church by the same title that this video will be called. So I hope you all have a great day.